Paul and Richard take a look at this?
Yes. Ah, yes, this is... Here he is, the bozo of the Western world. That's what his hair does at night when he goes to bed. In that shape. This is... Oh, yes, he tweeted a word...
It looks like a very incompetent logo for the Church of England.
Yes. So, yes, this is Donald Trump, and he's going to be sort of... because we're recording on Thursday night, round about now, he's going to be announcing whether America are going to pull out of the, you know, the climate change agreement and stuff. So that's basically what it's about. Climate change.
And executed with his traditional sleek statesmanship as he greeted the Prime Minister of Montenegro, I think it was, with a friendly shove.
Yeah. Would you support if somebody... Let me... is it right to hit him? Just once. In the face. Just once.
I might strongly advise him of the wisdom of turning the other cheek, if he'd like to try it a few times. Well, I don't know, it's the climate change, isn't it? I mean, it's the Paris Accord of 2015, the whole world, or nearly the whole world, signed up to it, and then Donald Trump thinks is going to make America great again by making sure everybody ends up with a tan just like his. But not out of a bottle, Victoria.
Welcome to another edition of Who Would Have Thought a Priest Would Have Said That?
I don't mean to be ungallant, but Victoria did reveal to us that she had splodged on.
Slapped it on straight out of a bottle.
As a tribute to Donald.
She's not going to rise to this.
I know.
She's going to turn the other lightly bronzed cheek.
You don't understand. Everyone's orange on TV now. If you come on a normal colour, people think you're ill.
Exactly.
So, apart from being bad news for the planet, who else is going to be cross, particularly with Donald Trump, for pulling out of this agreement?
Mrs Merkel's very cross.
Chinese.
Even closer to Donald Trump than that?
Oh, his
Ivanka. Ivanka and Jared, because they're fully signed up, aren't they? This kind of weird dissonance that's happening in the White House between Donald Trump and his base and his family, who seem to have a very different sort of political spectrum and compass to his. He's
reconfiguring his team, isn't he? He's constructing a war room. What's that intended to fight?
The media.
Yeah, he's got a great spokesman, because that thing, that kerfuffle that he tweeted out, he won't admit that he just sat on his phone.
Let's have a look at the actual tweet. So this was the early hours of Wednesday morning. He tweeted, "Despite the constant negative press kerfuffle," and left it at that.
Do you think he was trying to spell kerfuffle?
No, coverage.
Coverage.
Well, this is what somebody said on Twitter. They made a sort of dictionary entry where they wrote top definition, kerfuffle, when you want to say coverage, but your hands are too small to hit all the letters.
He sent out Sean Spicer, who is his spokesman, who is saying, people who need to know what that means.
Let's hear that recording.
Do you think people should be concerned that the president posted somewhat of an incoherent tweet last night?
No. The president and a small group of people know exactly what he meant.
What small group of people? Is it the Russian cabinet?
Did you see what the Eurostar did? They actually put up a sign on the main Eurostar, officially. Looked like this. Do you think it's good that he can just tweet whatever he wants and we get to know how his mind works, or should that be vetted?
Well, it's good. I mean, it tells us what's going on, doesn't it? I mean, he's also been going around giving out his mobile phone number. Did you not know this? No. Well, normally when presidents phone presidents, you do it through officials and you have a hotline and people listen in and know. And when he was in Taormina at that G7 that he was trying to turn the group of one, he just went up to Macron, the French president, and said, "Here, this is my number, call me anytime."
No, he said, "Give this to your missus."
Back to the climate change agreement. There could be another reason why Trump pulled out of the Paris deal. Why is he annoyed with Europe particularly at the moment?
NATO payments? Something to do with that?
That's what he says it is.
That's what he says it, but it's not.
Well, the Scandinavians made fun of him.
Is it Macron's handshake?
Oh, they copied the orb.
Yes, let's have a look at a picture. These are the 5 leaders of Finland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden and Iceland. Literally the leaders of those countries.
World leaders are ganging up to make the piss out the American president. Brilliant.
There was a nice little...
When are they going to punch him?
And you mentioned earlier, Ian, what did Macron do to try and beat Trump in the public eye?
Oh, well, Trump does this thing of grabbing people's hands, other world leaders, really hard and, you know, giving them a bit of a shock. And Macron's been in the gym for years. So he literally said, I'm going to get him. So when he got his hand, Macron went... and he wouldn't let it go. And Trump was... No, he was completely crushed.
It occurred to me that Donald Trump is famous for grabbing things that aren't just hands.
Yeah.
Trying to kind of just... Yeah, thank you.
According to CNN, how did Trump sum up his first foreign trip?
Where the fuck am I?
According to CNN, President Trump thought the trip was too long, returned lonely, angry, and he's gained weight. What has Nigel Farage recently become?
Pleasingly obsolete?
This audience is so biased. He's become a person of interest in the FBI. I know, it's difficult to imagine. In the FBI inquiry.
It's exactly right.
They're worried that Farage was a bearer of discreet secrets to the Russians. I have another one of them.
What's the good news that's been announced amidst all the gloom about the state of the world?
Arsene Wenger signed a 2-year contract. Ian's very pleased. Ian's very pleased.
I was thrilled. He signed Kvefi, apparently.
Yes. Thrust in midfield player. Very good.
Apparently the world is 0.28% more peaceful than it was last year.
I knew there was something.
I saw that figure, 0.28%. That's very cheery.
It hasn't all been in vain, Richard.
Onward and upward.
Yeah, there's been a drop in the global murder rate, apart from in America, where it's going up. You got to know America and Trumpland pretty well, didn't you, Alan Russell? You travelled in America. Should we see you getting to know the American voters on election night last year?
Why not?
Well, let's see you.
Cheers to you. Splendid. And do join me for our special programme tomorrow night. That's at midnight. I'll be speaking, amongst others, to Bernie Sanders. And, of course, full coverage of the inauguration on Friday.
This is Donald Trump's rejection of the Paris Climate Change Agreement. Also this week, Trump attacked the Germans over trade. The Germans are bad, really bad. Look at the millions of cars they sell in the US. He's happy to import some expensive European models, but only as wives. Round 2 now, and we couldn't really be bothered to think of anything original, so, Richard, we've just copied your big painting challenge. Welcome to the Big News Painting Challenge.
Oh, this sounds exciting.
What news story is being painted?